In this video, I'm going to show you how Reels ads just like this one can lead to thousands of leads and sales. We've driven over $272 million in revenue for small businesses of every industry, and today I'm sharing the 3 simple things that we've seen work across the board that anyone can do to create Reels ads that generate thousands of sales and hundreds of thousands in revenue. And in case you don't know, I'm Brandy with Life Marketing, the digital marketing agency with a mission to help small businesses grow. All right, first things first, we gotta make sure you're starting off on the right foot in your ad account setup. A lot of business owners shoot themselves in the foot right out of the gates and don't even know it. So make sure these 2 things are taken care of before you do anything else in this video. Make sure your Metapixel is installed on your website and make sure you're using a sales campaign. Because in the world of Facebook and marketing in general, if you're not tracking things properly, you are losing money and you're going in blindly. How can you make an informed decision if you don't have the facts of what's working and what's not? The answer is you can't. So the first thing you need to do is make sure your Metapixel is installed and working correctly. Your Metapixel, formerly called your Facebook Pixel, but it's the same thing, is the little piece of code that should be installed on your website. Each Facebook ad account has its own designated Metapixel ID, and that ID or code needs to be installed on your website so that Facebook can track any and all activity across all of your website pages. So before you do anything else, you'll need to grab the Metapixel from your specific ad account and install it on your website. The instructions for this will look different depending on what kind of website you have, like if it's built on WordPress or Shopify or Wix or what have you. But if you just Google how to install the Metapixel on my website, Facebook has a step-by-step article out there for you to follow that I will put a link for on screen as well. And then once you have that set up, you can install the Metapixel Helper Chrome extension so that you can double check to make sure the pixel is working and firing correctly on your website. I know that might seem super vague and high tech for some of you, but I promise you can do it, and that Facebook support article will walk you through everything you need to do step by step. So that should help make it easy, but just know you have to get that set up before you do anything else that we talk about in this video. Once that's installed, you want to make sure you've got the right campaign objective selected when setting up your ad. There are 6 campaigns you can choose from when setting up a Facebook ad. A lot of business owners make the mistake of selecting the traffic or engagement campaign because they're the easiest to set up and don't require you to have the Metapixel installed on your site. But you should already have your Metapixel installed now, so you want to select the campaign objective that's actually going to get sales for your business. See, selecting a Facebook campaign is not arbitrary. It matters because Facebook pays attention to the campaign goals when deciding who to deliver the ad to. For example, let's say you tell Facebook, hey, I want to show my ad to women in this zip code with these 3 interests, and you run it as an engagement campaign. Then you run an ad to the same exact audience in a sales campaign. The difference in each campaign is that in the engagement campaign, Facebook is going to show the ad to people within the selected audience who are most likely to engage. If you get 500 likes and 0 sales or leads in an engagement campaign, Facebook is going to call that a win because it's optimizing for engagement. Whereas in the sales campaign, Facebook is going to show the ad to people within the selected audience who are most likely to convert. And if you get 0 likes and 50 sales from a sales campaign, Facebook is going to call that a win because that's what it's optimizing for, or what it's looking for. It's looking for people who are going to complete the campaign goal. We've had a lot of business owners come to us over the years who have run a lot of traffic campaigns on Facebook and are wondering why they're not getting sales from it. But now you see why using the traffic campaign is still the wrong move, because even with the traffic campaign, Facebook is going to show the ad to people within the selected audience who are most likely to click. So if you want sales, then you want to select the sales campaign. All right, the second thing you need to do to get sales from Reels ads is to make sure you have the right placements and audience selected in the ad set level. When setting up a Facebook ad, I like to think of it as 3 different levels: campaign, ad set, and ad. The ad set level is where you tell Facebook who to show the ad to, aka the targeting, and where to show it, aka the placements. Since we're specifically using Reels ads here, you want to make sure that you choose placements that support the vertical 9:16 size of a Reels ad. And then of course on the ad level, upload a vertical video that fits the 9:16 size. This probably sounds like common sense, but you'd be surprised at how many business owners we see running horizontal video ads in their Reels feed, or trying to run vertical videos in placements that don't support that. Now, the other thing we said that was important to get right was the audience. So let's talk about how to target the right people in the ad set level, because if you're targeting the wrong audience, it doesn't matter if you have the best ad in the world, they're not going to convert. It's like trying to sell cat food to dog owners. You can give discounts, you can talk about how how awesome your cat food is. You can talk about how it increases the longevity of a cat's life, but it doesn't matter if the people seeing the ad don't own cats. So let's talk about the 3 things most business owners get wrong with the targeting when they set up a Facebook ad and what to do instead. Number 1, they target super small, niche down audiences that have a ton of interest in behaviors and demographics in the targeting. Number 2, they're not using a lookalike audience. And number 3, they're either not retargeting at all or they're doing mass retargeting, aka retargeting everyone in the same audience. Here's what to do instead, starting with mistake number 1. Instead of targeting a super small, narrowed down audience, you want to target a broad audience. You're looking for an audience size of 25,000 people or more for local campaigns and an audience size of millions of people for national campaigns. If you're still running Facebook ads targeting a ton of interest, demographics, and behaviors, you're wasting ad dollars on an advertising strategy that no longer works. That might be news to some of you because for a long time, the general Facebook ad strategy that everyone followed was to niche down and hone in on your target audience with a lot of interest and behaviors entered into the ad set. And I get it, that used to be what worked for a long time. Plus, you would think that's common sense, right? Like, this is exactly who my ideal customer is, so let me pinpoint them in the targeting. But the reality now is that algorithms are smart enough to read your ad copy, images, and URLs and find the audience that's most likely to convert based on those things. You're actually hindering the ad algorithm's ability to do that by giving super strict constraints in the targeting. So when you're setting up the ad set level of your ad and you're telling Facebook who to show your ad to, you want to go one of 2 routes. The first route is to solely include demographic details like gender, location, and age, because these are targeting options that you can be 99% sure of. For example, if you have a female-centric salon in Phoenix, Arizona, then you can be 99% sure that your audience will be female and live within a certain mile radius of your salon. So those would be the only 2 targeting options you need to use, gender and location. The second route is to target a lookalike audience. Like we said, the second mistake a lot of business owners make is not targeting a lookalike audience. So what is it exactly? A lookalike audience is a group of new people who have never heard of your brand before that Facebook finds who look like your existing customers, making them the most profitable cold audience you can target because they have the same makeup and buying patterns as your existing clients and customers do. If you have more than 1,000 clients or customers, then we'd recommend you start with a lookalike audience. All you have to do is upload your customer list as a custom audience in Ads Manager, then choose that audience as the source audience to create a lookalike audience out of. Just make sure your source customer list has about 1,000 customers on it or more, and that you choose the top 1% when creating the lookalike audience. Both of those things will make sure Facebook has a big enough pool of people to analyze and that the new audience it finds for you resembles your customer base as closely as possible. Now, it's important that the source list be your actual customers and clients, not just your general email subscribers. Sometimes business owners combine all of the email addresses they have to try and reach that 1,000 contact threshold, but what do you want more of? Email subscribers or paying customers? Paying customers, right? So then your source audience that the lookalike audience is mirroring needs to be your paying customers. Making a lookalike audience out of anything other than your customers will actually hurt your results. We do this for every client that has a sizable enough customer list available to take advantage of because it works. Whether you're a service business making a lookalike audience out of your clients or an e-commerce store making a lookalike audience out of your customers, it's one of the easiest ways to drive sales from a cold audience quickly. And remember, if you don't have 1,000 customers yet to make a lookalike audience, use demographic targeting like we talked about in option 1 until you do. And then the last mistake we said business owners make is either failing to retarget correctly or at all. Retargeting is when you show an ad to someone who has already interacted with your business in some way, aka a warm audience. You want to deliver ads to a retargeting audience because on average, it takes a person 7 interactions with a brand before they feel confident enough to buy from that brand. Unless you sell something that's more of an impulse buy, you're likely not going to get a sale after someone sees your ad just one time. They need to have multiple interactions with your brand so that they start to trust you and think of your brand as the best solution to their problem. So maybe you retarget your website visitors or your Instagram engagement or Reels views or email subscribers, etc. The mistake most business owners make is they do generalized retargeting. They show the same ad to everyone in their retargeting audience, but the problem with that is someone who has clicked your product page is further along in your sales funnel than someone who just viewed a reel on your Instagram Instagram, and therefore they should receive different ads. Your retargeting audience should be segmented and given specific CTAs or call to actions based on where they're at in your funnel. So people who have not clicked to your website yet should be retargeted with the CTA to do that. People who have opted into your lead magnet already, like a 10% off discount code, for example, but have not yet used it, should be retargeted with the CTA to use their code before it expires. People who have been to a specific product page but have still not purchased should be retargeted with a dynamic product ad that shows the exact product they were looking at on your site. You're not only going to lower your Facebook ad costs drastically if you run segmented retargeting as opposed to generalized retargeting, but you're also going to drive a lot more sales. Now, the third and final thing you need to do to generate sales from Reels ads is to use what we call COA, customer-oriented ads. A lot of business owners make the mistake of running ads that are all about them and not their customer. Business-oriented ads sound like this. We're an award-winning company. We have the best of the best team members. We have the latest technology. We're running a sale, and so on. Customer-oriented ads sound like this. You can accomplish your goals faster, better, easier, or for less using our product or service. Let's look at an example. Our dishwashers are the best. They come with the new Cleaner Turbo 3000 versus you don't have to pre-scrub dishes in the sink anymore with our new dishwasher. Which one do you think is going to get a customer's attention more? The second one, right? Why? Because you're directly addressing a pain point that they're currently struggling with, and you're providing your product or service as the solution. This is an ad from one of our clients, Vince, the client you saw at the beginning of this video, that's generated over 10,000 leads and over 23,000 purchases since partnering with us. I won't play the whole video, but he's a health coach, and I want you to listen to what he says here.
We have hundreds of people that join our weight loss challenge. They don't count calories, they don't count carbs, they don't reduce their portion sizes, and in 5 days, they measure their weight at the beginning and at the end, the weight goes down just like that.
So he said they don't count calories, they don't count carbs, and they don't reduce their portion sizes, and in 5 days, their weight goes down. He's addressing frustrating avenues that his audience has likely already tried and saying, hey, even without doing all that stuff, you can still achieve your goal with what I have to offer. If a customer hears that you can make one of their annoyances or frustrations or problems disappear, their ears are going to stand to attention. So instead of focusing on all the bells and whistles of your product or service, focus on the benefits your customers experience from using your product or service, or the pain points and frustrations they can now avoid with your product or service. I'm telling you, from the thousands of ad accounts we've managed, fixing this alone will make a world of difference in your ad results and Reels ad sales.